Shalom and welcome to Shabbat. This year is entitled Getting Ready for this Shabbat. So first of all, we have Tanit B'Charot. That's the earliest part that's affected. Instead of having it on the day Shabbat, which is the 14th we normally fast, so we push it up. So push it to Friday. Once we're pushing it fast, we don't push it on to Friday, only if it really would fall out on Friday. Therefore, we push it up to Thursday. Shulchan Aruch mentions that we fast on Tanit B'Charot. It's later discussed in the Mishnah Berurah that we look for heter to find Sudas Mitzvah, but you should just know it's a real fast, and then there's a heter. So that's Thursday. And then we have Thursday night Badika. Why don't we do Badika on Friday night? Poskim actually, yes, right. Maybe the mitzvah of Badika, the Asay, should knock out the Lo Tasei of carrying the five. For this reason, we don't say that. We do the Badika on Thursday night with a bracha, and then Friday morning we burn the chametz. Really, you don't have to burn it by Friday morning. You do it Friday afternoon because this man really is until Shabbat. Still, the Shulchan Aruch mentions, you know what? You're always into the habit of, let's say, burning it by 11:26. I'm just making a time up. So you don't want to confuse next year. You're also going to do it late if you wait till later. Just do it on time and keep the habit going. And then you go ahead, you leave chametz around for Shabbat. And you have that the Friday night meal and the Shabbat meal. And regarding how to fulfill the 3 meals on Shabbat, so the Shulchan Aruch has a simple option, matzah, shiva, egg matzah. But the Ashkenazim don't have that option. So we don't have an option in the afternoon to have that meal. So what do? There's a few options. There are matchas holds in the afternoon, have fruit, vegetable, meat, chicken, something like that. Don't have too much so that you have a nice appetite for the night. And that's it. Mishnah Berurah adds another option is you have matzah balls. Once it's cooked, it's no longer defined as matzah. You don't have the prohibition of matzah on Erev Pesach if it's matzah balls. It's cooked already. Mishnah Berurah mentions another possibility that in the morning you split the meal into 2 and have 2 meals. So you get home from shul 9:30, you have a meal right then. And then you go ahead and you have another meal. You have to check the zman, of course, the time. And then you go out for 20 minutes, take a little walk, and then have another meal. So you had 3 meals with hamotzi. Not everyone likes that, especially those who say that the third meal has to be in the afternoon. The Ramadi's even mentioned that possibility. He just says have some meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, and the like in the afternoon. In terms of having a Suda after Mincha, so we always, halacha all year long says you're not supposed to have a meal before Mincha, but we don't really follow that. We're pretty lenient that if you ever have a set Mincha and a set Mariv, and more, we have Mariv every night, 9 o'clock, and we eat 6, 7 o'clock. And we rely on the opinions that when you have a set Kavua minyan, you're not going to forget and get too caught up with your meal. So here too, you go ahead and have your meal at 3 in the afternoon. We're not afraid because you have a set mincha at 6. But the Zohar does say that you should have, it's best to have a mincha and then have the Suda Shlishis every Shabbat after mincha. So there'll be those that are going to try to make sure you have an early mincha and then the Suda after. That's a discussion all year long. So you have your meals, you fulfilled the meals according to whatever shita you follow. And then of course, you have to do bittul by the Zman. And all the chamir, everything I have is void and null. And any bread that was left over, you go ahead and you flush it down the toilet. Normally, you have during the Drash yesterday, we talked about you. This Shama, there's a great question. I mean, normally have such respect for bread. Here we're throwing it out. So yes, normally there's a great mitzvah to protect the bread and all food and not throw it up and show kavod. And here the mitzvah is actually to do what? To go ahead and get rid of it. That's the mitzvah. Mitzvah is be your chametz and you get rid of it. And those who are nervous to have any, or in institutions, camps, or hotels, I should say, and the chayalim, so there they don't have any bread. So then the options would be to have matzah shira, or Moshe is fine having matzah shira, egg matzah for the meal at night and in the morning, and not have any bread at all. Get rid of all that before. And there are those actually deep fry matzah, whole matzah. So if it's a whole matzah, it's still kazayis. So then it still has the status of hamotzi, but it's not matzah. You could be yotzi the mitzvah, and therefore there's no problem having that on the Shabbat. So those are the different options that we have for the next few days. And Mi'etz Hashem, anyone has a shaila, always call the posek. If I'm the rabbi you call, feel free to call me. And Mi'etz Hashem, we have a chag kosher v'sameach. Shalom.